There are many ways you can blend. I'm gonna talk first about blending with brushes. When you have one of those soft brushes, not too soft, kind of soft brushes we talked about, like this here. Oh, let me remove the color jitter, hold on. Okay, now it works. Yes. Let's say we want to mix like blue. Oh, blue and orange is a bad idea, hold on. Green and orange here, all right? So we have the orange and we have the green and we want to mix them. What can we do? We're gonna place the colors next to one another, overlap them a little bit, and then select the overlap and paint. Select the overlap and paint. And do this a few times until it becomes smooth. This is one of the ways you can create transitions like in blend. It takes a while, but it's like real paint, a little bit. Sometimes you might have to make the brush smaller like this one here. See? Oh, it's becoming really smooth now. And this is the way, you just use the color picker and select the color that is overlapping, place it. Select an overlap, place, and do it from one to the other. Just gonna show again with another brush. So you can see, let's say purple. Well, no color jitter, please. Okay. So purple and red. Okay, so we can take this here. See, all the times I am pressing Alt and color picking. And then if I make the brush smaller, I can make it even softer. See? So this is how you blend with brushes. You are not gonna be able to blend with a brush like this. The full opacity, it's not gonna work. Because when we overlap them, there's no area where, well, only if you like zoom in a lot and then color pick from here, but then it doesn't really work. So it needs to have a little bit of opacity, like a lower opacity, even if it's just a little bit, so they can overlap. Okay. Second type is with blenders. So let's say we have here like this. Oops. Let's remove color jitter. I placed color jitter in everything. Okay, so we have this and this. Maybe the colors are too dark. Hold on. Okay. How can we blend this? One of the ways is to use a blending tool and blend it like this. The blending tool can have texture or not. The one I like to use, you see it has a little bit of texture. I think it gives a kind of alive feeling to the art. But the most common like blend is just like this. And it's like placing an airbrush on top of it. It works as well. But just like I don't usually like the airbrush, I also don't really like this here. Because it looks kind of, sabe? You know, it's kind of, it loses the form and the interesting transitions we could have. So usually I'm gonna use some sort of textured brush. Oh, blending tool, like this one. Oh, look at this one. This one is awesome. See? Really nice. Not blending a lot, but, oops. But really good. What I usually do, because yes, it can become smudgy. What I usually do is I make a mixture of blending with a brush and blending with a blender. So what I'm gonna do is like take this here. Hold on. Okay, now without color jitter. So I place like a tiny bit of it like this to make the blender's life easier. And then I can come in here and blend. When we are using the blending tool, we need to press very, very lightly. So you can see that now that I'm pressing very lightly, it's working. Before, I wasn't, and it was creating this sort of smudge. So press it lightly. So this is how we blend with the blender. And you can blend with the airbrush, like we mentioned earlier. I don't usually do it, but you can. It's like this, and then color pick. Sometimes I do it when I'm painting a sunset sky, then it makes sense. For example, let's say we have this here. Let's place a color here, some random color. Make it more purple on top, and then blue. See? And then more pink, maybe. A little bit of red. And then we can create kind of the idea of like dawn, maybe. This one doesn't look like sunset, but it could be dawn. So for the sky, like when it has many transitions like this, the blending with airbrush works well. And then how to render without an airbrush. Let's see how we can do it. So I have this one as an example here. It's one of the stages of a painting, and you can see we already have the flat colors, the shadows and lights, and I have deleted the lines in almost the entire painting. I only kept it on his face to make it easier. So how do we render without the airbrush? I'm gonna take one of those kind of soft brushes. And see, I'm color picking and painting on top. I might choose a darker color here. And then color pick and make it softer. Color pick and make it softer. And if the brush stroke's too strong, I pick up the blender and change it like this. So we can create all sorts of transitions like this. Between brush and blend, brush and blend. But this is how you do it without the airbrush. It's more like mechanical than anything. So it's like choosing a color, painting on top, and as I paint, okay, this one is interesting. Let me zoom in. The first brush stroke, I'm gonna paint a little bit dark, like stronger. And as I go outside, I'm pressing lighter and lighter because I want to make that soft transition. And if I press strongly, I can't make the transition that well. So as I'm moving out, I want to have lighter brush strokes.